Hi, it's Charisma from Charisma's Corner, and it's been a while since we've done a tutorial, and I wanted to do this a couple months ago before I went on vacation to do a feather sampler, but it just didn't work out on the other machine. So I actually have one finished on the wall over here that I might refer to because I'm just going to copy the same exact thing. I just took some scrappy strips of fabric, 9 rows, and I'm just going to show you different ways that I construct or quilt a feather on the Longarm. There are several different ways to do it, and there's so many different combinations, but people ask for this, so I just thought I would go ahead and do one of these for you guys. So we'll do this in a 3-part series. So the first 3 feathers that we'll do tonight are just the basics of the feather. So there's different ways to make the plumes and the stems, and I'll go through all of that with you. So you can see here that I quilted a line already because we wanted to test out to make sure that you guys could see. So this is the base of my feather plume. And the other thing is that I'm working on my new machine, so I'm not as comfortable with this machine as I am my other machine. So there'll be maybe a few more flubs, but so the other thing is that I can't do a feather one way and then come back and reverse it. I have to do them both the same way, so I'll show you that. There's no reason to master it once you've figured out one way to do it. So I'm just going to turn on my machine here, and I'm just going to show you the first plume that I learned, and that is, here's my base, and I just follow that line, make another plume, and then I just build on that each time. And so they just kind of stack nicely on top of each other. Or as thin as you would like. I'll do some thin ones here. Method, and I'll show you that on the next roll. Okay, so now that that side is done, and you can kind of see how they're each individual plumes and they kind of stack up, and there's like a space in between where I did those, and then you can see that there's bigger ones, and then I got into thinner ones. And now there's 2 things. You can either just make another line going to the stem so you can get back to the bottom of the feather, because I can't make the plumes that go this way. I have to go back to where I started and then start over again, or I can just take the needle out and start again. Either way is fine. It just depends on how much thread that you want to lay down in that center. And I'm going to show you another way to kind of dress up that feather by going back down again, but I'm going to do that on another feather. So that was making each individual plume, just following the line, and then I'm going to, as you saw at the end of that, it's hard for me not to do the bounce back method. I do it all the time, and so I'm going to show you that one. So I just start with my regular plume, and now I'm going to do a bounce back. So I'm just going to bounce off of that top feather, follow this plume, and bounce off of it again. So there's no space in between your plumes, but you have to stay on that line. And again, you can make them smaller thin, it doesn't matter. The other thing that I like to say is that I don't ever use a high contrasting thread, because if you use a high contrasting thread, you're going to see every flaw that you make. And even the most seasoned quilters still make flaws. So if you use a matching thread, any flubs that you do make won't be as noticeable. So I learned that from the pros early on, and I stick to it. And again, they stack up very nicely. Look at that. I like to fill the area that I'm supposed to fill. Okay, and there's the very first basic feather. So on the second one, we're going to do a feather without a stem. And so the easiest way to do this is to mark it, and I use the blue water soluble pen where you can just spritz it with water. I get them at Walmart or any fabric shop, and you just kind of make your vein, feather vein. And the only way to really describe this in my mind, how I figure it out, and we're going to go the opposite way just to add some interest to this sampler, is like a feather heart. So there's my film here. Okay, so I'm just making my, like a heart, but the center of that, each heart half, is following the vein. So I'm never really closing it. I'm just kind of following the line. I mean, if I have to do more on one half to get it around the curve, then but you're completing both sides at once. It's kind of a whimsical type feather. I want to fill that space. So I like on these whimsical feathers where the plumes are different sizes because it kind of adds some variety and some fun. So I almost always add a curved vein just because I like to have the imprint. And it looks like it's done freehand rather than a stencil, which everything is, usually lines up perfectly. There is the feather without a vein. And then you just spritz that blue line and it will go away. So this next one we're going to do a fern. And then in this next series we'll get into double feathers and swirly feathers and actually let's do the loop feather. It's another fun, simple, kind of whimsical design. And again, I'm just going to mark the vein and I'm just going to do kind of a squiggly line to follow. It just fits better in this space. So all I'm going to do with this is make L's and E's. You can make them the same size, you can make them smaller, but you just follow the lines. And I use this design a lot. I like the versatility of it. And you can see that my little scrappy strips here needed to be pressed a little bit more, but I was in a hurry to get the sample on the frame so we could get this tape. I could just show me a tape, regular tape, obviously on the 80s style. You could switch that blue line if you would like, or just follow it. I think I'm going to stitch it down when I go. I can actually do this from the top to the, you can do this either way. Go back the other way. Stitch it before or after, it doesn't matter, but and sometimes having a double one in there is kind of fun. Okay, so that is the first 3 simple feathers that I wanted to cover in this series. So thanks for joining us today at Charisma's Corner, and we will be back soon with set number 2. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.